Donald Trump responding to outcry over his criticism of a New York Times reporter. He is accused of mocking Serge Kowalski's disability. And now the Republican presidential frontrunner says they doesn't even know the guy. But the reporter claims that he has interviewed Trump many times and that they've been on a first-name basis for years. Here's the comment that started it all.
Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember.
Howard Kurtz is a Fox News media analyst and host of MediaBuzz. So what do you think, Howard? Was he mocking his disability?
Well, I sure hope not. Look, Donald Trump has gained great ground here by making fun of reporters and Twitter and, you know, a bunch of idiots and losers. And let's face it, not everybody likes the media. But this time, I think it's evident that he stepped over a line because we have this long statement from Donald Trump saying he was not mocking Serge Kowalski, who I know, great guy, terrific journalist. And it's very obvious that he has a physical disability, has limited use of his arms. On the other hand, Serge says he's met him many times, and it sure looked like Trump was doing that kind of impersonation. Yeah, we have a couple of his responses, some of the tweets that he sent out.
One of them, he says, I do not know the reporter for the New York Times or what he looks like. I was showing a person groveling to take back a statement made long ago. And then a second statement, this one directed at the New York Times. The failing New York Times should focus on fair and balanced reporting rather than constant hit jobs on me. Yesterday, 3 boring articles. Today, 2.
Well, it seems to me that Trump is in a position now where he's on the defensive, really in one of the few battles that he's had with the media. And let's not lose sight of the substance here. I mean, look, Donald Trump's a smart guy. I don't think he would deliberately, maybe he just slipped his mind, make fun of a reporter with disability, knowing that the whole world would come down on him. But what's this about? It's about the article that Kowalski wrote when he was with the Washington Post back in 2001, saying that there were authorities in New Jersey had detained for questioning some people who seemed to be celebrating the attacks. That doesn't quite match up with Trump saying there were thousands celebrating across the river in New Jersey and that he saw it on TV. No one has been able to document that, but it has flipped the script, put Trump on the defensive, and it comes at a time when he really is kind of at war with the New York Times, the Washington Post, and many outlets in the mainstream media. But
Howard, I have to ask you this. I mean, are we now starting to nitpick and look at things to come at Donald Trump? Because you yourself said this was a great reporter. Everything that I'm reading about him, everybody thinks that he's great, he's professional. He didn't completely backtrack his article. His article stands as it did then, that he claims people were celebrating Muslims following 9/11. He just says the difference is in the number. He didn't say thousands, but yet when Donald Trump comes out and he talks about it, he doesn't get any type of credit at all.
It did partially vindicate Donald Trump because everybody was saying this did not happen. At the same time, I don't think Kowalski backed away from the article at all. What he said was, he didn't say that he had seen this with his own eyes. He's reporting on law enforcement people detaining some folks who may well have been celebrating. That's not quite the same as thousands. But yes, the way Trump tries to cast it is to make the mainstream media, which are not too popular, the villain. His fans love that. So this is another example. It's just that this misstep involving the reporter's physical disability, I think, has backfired him. But at the same time, Heather, you have the New York Times editorial page accusing Trump of racist lies. You have the Washington Post editorial page calling him a bully and running an ugly campaign. There's been a lot of criticism of Trump back and forth since he declared, but it has never quite reached this stage of open warfare. And I think most of the time that actually ends up helping Trump because his supporters, his fans, don't love the media, and they sure do love Donald Trump.
And it's not just the media. It's now the other Republican candidates at this point that have a lot of ads and negative things to say about Donald Trump, and that's all coming out. We have to wrap it up. I'm so sorry, Howard. Thank you so much for joining us today, though.